Okay, good evening, everybody. We're going to get started. Welcome to the April LSC meeting. It is 6:32? 6:31?
6:31.
6:31. Okay, so we are going to get started, with we call the meeting to order, and we are going to get started with our Pledge of Allegiance. But first, just want to remind everybody to sign in for contact tracing. Masks are recommended but not required. And I think that's it. So you want to go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of
the United States of America,
and to
to
the
the republic
for
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so Ms. Like, if you would like to do the roll call, the in-person roll call. Here?
Here,
I think we got to wait for this.
That's if somebody's remote and we say they're okay.
Maria? Maria's frozen.
Oh.
No, she's not.
So this is you.
She's
Oh, this is me.
Yeah, that's for the vote.
Oh.
I'm here.
That other thing is for, if they're remote, they do that one. Doesn't know the one in yet?
No.
Oh, this is.
Those are for remote people.
Julietta, wait.
Here.
She's not here.
Here.
Here,
Here.
And
I'm here.
Oh.
Sorry. She already kicking me out.
There you go.
All right, we have four.
Thank you, Ms. Like. Okay, so our next point of order is to vote to allow our virtual members to participate and vote. Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that all our virtual members can vote.
I second. Oh, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. Welcome to participation, our online LSC members. Okay, our next point is approval of today's agenda.
I make a motion to approve today's agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay. Now we move to 3, which is approval of minutes from March 8th, 2022 meeting. Anyone have any questions about those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the March 8th, 2022 meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, motion carries. So now we're moving to point 4, COVID safety updates. And that will go to you, Mr. Flores. We'll start with you. Okay.
I don't have any updates other than the cases are down, so there's only just a couple of students on the list each day. Yeah.
Miss Greenwood, when did we pull the plug on that room? I mean, is that a CPS?
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Anybody else on, no, just want to make sure, okay.
Just want to say thank you to Jenny for all the COVID stuff she's done over the last
Yes,
5 months, Jenny.
Thanks, Ms.
Rock
Greenwood,
star, yeah.
thank you, Ms.
for all
Greenfield.
the COVID stuff.
Wait, okay, so we are not having a B or a C tonight under 4, so we're going to move right to reports. With the principal's report, and did you want to start with the student spotlight, Mr. G?
I do, but he's not here.
Oh, okay.
But I will, I will mention him in our principal's report.
Okay.
But first I wanted to, before I started to talk about, well, let me talk about principal's report. real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so, first of all, thanks everybody for having this meeting early this month. And so we can approve this budget. They only gave us a small window. The nice thing is that the window for approval is in April, and years past, it was sometimes in the middle of July when everybody's on vacation and people are calling in from Canada and stuff. So it's really nice. So I appreciate you doing that. So we won't meet again until the second week of May. So we had students had the opportunity to meet with their counselors to solidify their schedules, but it's going well. A lot of work goes into that with Dan and Jenny and Eric. Met with the Performing Arts Department to discuss programming options for next year. We know that there's a demand we feel on the freshman academy to, right now, we just have band over there,
Oh,
okay? And what we're looking at is possibly having choir and then a band and then a drama, one of each. Okay, so we're gonna see if that program's out, okay? But that's gonna be, it'll give people some more options so that when they come into here, we do have some kids, we have probably 30 or 35 kids that show up and want to play in band. Don't know if we have 160, but we do have 30 that can do that. And the same thing with drama. So it's good for programming. We're going to try to do that. The drama or the band will probably be at first or eighth period. So we'll do our teachers. We've already talked to our teachers. So we'll give them like a period, 2 periods before they have to go over there. So there's plenty of time to go over there. Okay.
is that freshman?
Freshman
Is that
academy.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean like that, what you're offering for freshmen, it's not about the 7th and 8th graders, because they have that, right?
No. Eric, will 7th or 8th graders be able to hop in the band at all?
Well, don't they have an arts component one semester each?
They do
Yeah.
have that option right now, so
Okay.
we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah. We also have something called CTO funds, the funds for after school?
Oh,
OST, I'm sorry. Yeah, our AP government department threw a practice test last Saturday. We had 130 kids for AP history show up. Think about that, 130 kids on a Saturday showed up for a practice test. And my student spotlight is not here, but I wanted to introduce you to senior Bruno Roca, who was accepted to Harvard University. So I don't know if I've ever heard that. Look at Mary Cobb, right? This year we have a Yale, we have Leanna from Yale, we have a Princeton from last year, we have a Harvard, and we also have a West Point, which, yeah, this is huge for us. Okay, competency B, we administered 830 SAT exams, the class of 2023. Again, this is Jenny Spotlight and help with a lot of other teachers that were helping. We administered the IAR exam to our academic center, and the huge thing, and this calendar 2 was voted on and accepted by CPS Board of Education. This is a game changer in
Yeah.
CPS. I can't tell you that. It's a game changer. The fact that we're going to start earlier, which is going to be good because our sports all start earlier. We get the kids involved in sports instead of them showing up 3 weeks later. And then the sports are already there and they don't even want to try out. So we lose them for a year. When you lose them for a year, you lose them for 4 years. So not only that, we're on a better footing with all the suburban schools, is now we're going to have the same amount of testing time. The week of Thanksgiving, which can sometimes turn into a movie fest, which I was a teacher, it was my movie fest. I'm not saying any other teacher. When you just got a couple of days there, it's really tough to teach the kids. It's now going to be an all week of non-attendance. So they're going to have student parent-teacher conferences on that Monday. And this next year is going to be a little different. Elementary school and high schools are going to be the same date. No longer 2 days. So it's going to be that Monday of Thanksgiving, and then it's non-attendance day the rest of a week, and then we're off for Thanksgiving. So that's nice. The other good thing is it ends, semester 1 ends before we go on winter break.
That's great.
It's just unbelievable. It's just, yes, you're thinking now. Okay, we come back, and then the nice thing is we get out earlier. And what people understand, especially for a Taft High School with 4,000 kids over here, we are competing against the St. Pat's, the Notre Dame, the Reses, the Loyolas for summer jobs.
Yeah.
At the malls and everything, they're all gone. And my kids get out and they're like, oh, there's no more jobs. Yeah, because you've been sitting in school for 3 more weeks than you had to. Yeah. So it really is a game. I tell you, it was a game changer for me. It was the happiest thing I've seen CPS do in 16 years. I was so happy for that. Okay. Met with Golden Apple teacher for our art teacher, Miss Trejo. So that's like the Academy Award for teachers. So we have one that's been nominated right now. Think about it. We got kids going to Harvard.
When does that get announced?
Probably at the end of May.
Okay.
So we got kids going to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and now we've got a Golden Apple winner or announcement. Morning announcements resumed on both campuses. I think to a big kudo. They like that. Yes. And this is a big one. AP, and they're here tonight. Eric Flores and Mr. Greenblatt will presenting at the IB World Conference this summer. Yeah.
Where is it?
Celebrity.
San Diego.
Okay. Well,
So real quick, Eric or Jenny, what's the topic on, so everybody knows?
So we talked about removing gatekeepers, and increase access to.
The polling place, yeah. It's to be, you guys gotta understand, it's a big deal. It's not just like,
Yeah.
oh, we're looking for someone, please help us out. I mean, they have a lot of people applying for this and to get selected for that. I mean, we're the fourth largest IB school in the world. We bring some credibility to the
Bravo.
table, so. they're gonna-
make sure
they're
you
gonna-
surf in San Diego.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this next one. I'm gonna resume breakfast with the principal
Oh, that's
after 2
exciting.
years, yeah. So I'll let all the LSC members know if you wanna stop by one morning. First week, it'll be not, maybe the week when we come back. I'll have 30 seniors. We'll have pancakes and sausage, and it'll be in the morning, and, you know, we'll have some lively conversation, and it'll all be ABB. We'll talk about everything, all but bathrooms. That's gonna be my talk. So,
ABBL,
yeah,
bathrooms and lockers.
I know the bathrooms are bad, I get it, so,
Good, I think.
yeah. But you do get some really good feedback, though. You do,
Oh,
because
yeah,
we
that's
don't,
great.
it's not the whole negative
Oh,
thing. You need to do this.
wonderful.
It's really like, this is what I enjoy.
Sit down time.
And I do, and I'm like, who's your favorite teachers? And we go around and where you going? So it's really good. So seniors first, and they'll go all the way down. And I kind of like the seventies, if you call them. The seventh graders are almost better. So when I get older and I'm going to change the world, this is what I'm going to do. Oh my God. Anyway, I love my Ackies. Football Booster Club, Michael, had a fundraiser event at Graziano's. I think it went well, right, Michael?
Very well.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was surprised to see so many Taft teachers
Yeah.
and parents and
Nice.
students. So we will be having another one at Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle, they like that.
Oh, tell them to step up.
Oh, I'll send out the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking with
Which
a,
one?
The,
Park Ridge or?
by the hip.
yeah, by the hip, yeah. We're talking with alumni to secure commitments for varsity field bleachers. We feel that is the best option right now. Going forward, we need more bleachers in there. Met with an alumni group and landscapers to plant a memorial tree for Frank Hood on April 30th. So the tree is going to be planted here. Alumni came to me and said, Mr. G, we've got $1,000. We want to plant a tree. I hooked them up with Julian, my landscaper, said, you guys work together and figure it out. I'll give you a spot. They came out there and they said, this is where we remember him from. So they're going to bring alumni back. They've got a little plaque that you put in the ground in memory of Frank Hood, teacher coach. It's going to be a really nice thing. Yeah. So, you know, everybody knows, if you know anything about Taft, he's on the Mount Rushmore here of Taft. So that'll be well done. And we'll call his family and see if they can come by. So, and then my favorite, third annual cutest pet contest will start this week. Cutest dog, cutest cat, and I got talked into cutest other pet. So, you know, if a lizard loses to an iguana, I'm not going to say anything, but it's just going to be, so cutest other pet. Then I have a member, but again, we do this because we gotta start lightening up a little bit, you know, and so these are funny
It's
things.
fun.
Yeah, it's funny things to do. And I gotta tell you, just like when I was walking here this morning, I see the kids out on the fields there, I'm like, it's starting to feel like we're back again. It really is. And so I know this year we're gonna wind it down, but next year starting up again, I think it's gonna be we're gonna have the kids in the class in the hallways after school doing for international night, and it's gonna be good again. We'll get back on track, and we always do. Member of the Network 14 Principal Advisory Board. That's always good. And I feel good because they actually listened to us about the calendar. We kept pushing it, okay? And attended, and what's amazing, when they announced the changes and they're like, Mark, your thing got pulled, because my biggest thing was stop having parent-teacher conferences on Thursdays, okay? Friday attendance kills us, okay? Please stop that. And so now that they moved, they're like, Mark, you'll be happy about that one. So that was good. And then we attended about once a month. We have a principal and AP high school summit. We have another one tomorrow where, again, two of our assistant principals, Mr. Glowitz and Ms. Hess, will be presenting on another topic. And we're doing stuff where people are listening to Taft. A couple of dates coming up, spring break, if you haven't noticed. Parent-teacher conferences, April 21st. Make an appointment. Friday, June 3rd is senior prom at the Hyatt Regency. That's going to be fun. Senior graduation, we're back to normal at the Rosemont Theater. June 13th is 8th grade graduation, and August 11th, annual alumni picnic. It's all going to be good. So that's the principal report. We get the budget. Any questions on principal report before I move on? Okay. I got a couple of things I need approved. We have a March, I have to get anything approved over $10,000. I have an athletic activity. We have buses for $15,472. Any questions on that? $15,472, our normal bus thing.
Mr. G, the
Yeah.
alumni picnic is the 20th.
It is.
Yes.
Okay, I will make that change. I'm sorry about that.
No, not at all, just after.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna change it. Okay. So 15,472, normal cost of doing business. Normally it might have been 21,000 or $22,000. But we've got our bus now, which is saving us money. All these
Yeah.
little trips we can go everywhere. It's really amazing.
If it had been successful, do you foresee getting another bus?
I thought about that, Mike. I'm like, let's go one more year. We haven't had it a whole year, so let's see what happens. It's gonna year.
That does cut down the cost considerably.
It does, yeah. And like I said, when Glow was the AP, he did an analysis on what we could actually do, and he said it would save us $60,000 per year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we have an opportunity to cost, I have two buses now, one is always sitting there or something, so let's have a year go
Well,
by.
I'm just thinking about.
Yeah.
Gas and how they're going to raise their
Yeah.
costs as well.
Yeah,
Gotta give it a year to see what the return on investment is.
yeah. We're gonna talk more on, I didn't bring it up at the budget committee, but we're gonna seriously consider raising fees. I know it's not a good thing. I haven't raised them we haven't raised them in a number of years, but it's $450. I'm thinking $495 just to help us out a little bit. I don't feel too bad because half our kids are free and reduced, which means they pay nothing. But the other one, anybody that can pay, I'm like, you know what, it's $5 a week more. I'm hoping that they can help us, and it really would. A lot of costs have gone up, as you see. Salmon at Highway House used to be $14, it's now $24. So now, did I buy it with those funds? I'm just letting you know.
Are you thinking of putting that on like the next month's agenda?
Yeah, I'll put it on next month. So I just wanted to let you know right now so you can think about it, okay? All right, anything on Compass Transportation? Okay, let me go through budget transfers. There you go. We have transfers of, and we went over this in budget. We have to pay 0.02 for teachers. These are our computer teachers. We have not been able to secure a computer teacher for a while, so we're going to pay teachers overtime. Teachers have 5 classes per day. There's 8 periods, which means they're going to give up one of their preps to teach a period. When they do that, they get overtime, okay? So we're going to secure, right now, it looks like each overtime is about $10,000. So right now, it looks like we're going to have 6 of them in here. So that's our overtime. And then we have student transportation, 29,100. Again, I gave you the 15, but we have to put money in there to make it from last year. There's the 15,500. I'm sorry, I should have said last month. And then the offset negatives is $35,000. That's just the cost of doing business at a high school. We're always going to go into the negatives, whether it be overtime. Because what you have is you have like a big pile of money, and then the buckets go down and they deplete, and you got to start filling them up again, you know, just like a planter. So those are the transfers. Any discussion on that? Scott, go
I
ahead.
have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Regarding the O2s again.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep talking about it, but
That's
that's
fine.
my role.
Mhm.
This is to, the O2s are to cover computer teaching position?
Yeah.
Oh, the one at the freshman kid?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. Thank
Okay.
you.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll give that to Mr. Vila. The last thing we really need to vote on, is that why we're all here today earlier, is the CPS budget. We went over it in the budget. Really, everybody has a copy of this thing with the black lines on
Do
it.
we need to vote on this though? The budget
Yes.
transfer?
Yes, on the
Transfers.
transfers, we do.
Okay, so before you move
Okay.
on, let's
Yeah,
vote on
I'll make a
that.
motion to approve
I'll
the.
say.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Mr. G.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the budget, is why we're here for the approval of it. CPS gave our budgets about 3 weeks ago. They have us budgeted at 4,110, but they're going to give us about 179 more kids up front, which will bring us at 4,289 projected for next year. 4,289 could go up. I actually expect it to go up maybe 20 or 30 more, because I think we lost a lot of kids. Don't forget, last year we had, just so you know, we had the last 4 years, 300 more, 150. So what happened? Why wasn't it 300? And I think it was that COVID effect, where I think a lot of people were like, I don't know, I'm going to go here or whatever. And it kind of hit us. So I really think it could be 300, but I think it's not going to be lower than 179 at all. So after the 20th day, I think we'll get some money back. They gave us a 1% increase in our funding. But again, it doesn't cover the 3% increase of teacher salaries. So it kind of hurts us a little bit. So, but they did give us other things which kind of offset it a little bit. Next year, we're gonna have to program tighter. We're not gonna have classes with small kids and, regular sized kids in small classes. We're not gonna have that anymore. But we're just gonna be creative with our programming. They did give us special ed non-cluster, or I'm sorry, core instructional positions. Eric, you feel comfortable talking about those positions?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are centrally funded, board funded positions. There's 3 of them that was determined by a variety of factors for all schools. And so these core instructional positions are really intended to support the instructional core. And so the instructional core is the one thing that the board is driving. So all of the teachers, high school summits have been geared towards the instructional core. At those schools, which is basically offering students high rigorous curriculum at every grade level. And so, they had a meeting with Crystal a couple of months ago. They asked like, what would help? And so through feedback from school leaders, people are asking, we instruct people in classrooms that are not doing it. They're there with teachers in a variety of different ways. So that this thing kind of left up to the individual schools of how those positions will work. So, we have had, discussed it, kind of brainstormed a little bit. We're going to meet with department chairs, IB coordinators, Scott and Bridget, on Friday, just to kind of go through the plan, what those positions could look like, get some feedback from them to figure out exactly what the are going to be advertised for, but we will have those advertised by the end of spring break.
Thanks, Eric. The other nice thing they gave us, and Ms. Hess is a bulldog with our special ed kids. I mean, I seen veins stick out of her neck when one of our kids is not getting the services they're supposed to get. She's been advocating for a 4th caseworker now for as long as I've known her, and we have 5 next year. So they really surprised us with that. So that's really going to help us with 5 caseworkers. I mean, we have 1,000 kids that are DL kids in here. I've got more DL kids than some schools. Some kids have all kids. So it's really important. So they're looking out for us there. The other thing they helped us out with was last year when our class size got a little big, the CTU and CPS had a joint agreement that said when it's too big, we're going to come in and give you some positions to lower the class size. They gave us 3 teachers to do that. And I've been kind of on their case all year long, once a week. Listen, don't take that away from us. Please don't do that. Or we're going to yo-yo this thing every year long. And so they did give us those 3 positions back again. So those are going to carry over, which is going to be really nice to lower class size. So I know we didn't get all the money to start with, but again, they're kind of getting it to us on the back end. And the last thing, which is huge, which shows me CPS now has vision and foresight of a different character or a different part now, is they're giving us an athletic director, a paid athletic director, like the suburbs. Okay, I mean, suburbs have an athletic director, an assistant, 2 clerks and stuff like that. So they're going to free one up for us. So that's really nice. We haven't got the funding for that yet or where that's going to be, but that was a nice little perk that they're listening to the principals. It feels good to be heard. So this is the budget. I've had worse budgets. I've had marginally better budgets, but my recommendation to the LSC would be to approve this budget. I can work with this budget and we'll be fine. So I think we need to take I'll take questions first. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the
Wait,
fiscal year
We have to do that.
Oh, let's just make sure that we don't have any questions on.
from the members.
I have a quick one.
Go ahead.
So these 3, the increase in 3 core positions
Yeah.
would be teaching positions?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, okay,
No,
so that's what
no,
we're talking about.
They're not.
Yeah, they are teachers, but they will be like teachers, so they're not.
I understand.
Scott thinks like I was. I bet Scott was going with them. Can I lower class size with these positions?
No,
And they're
I
like,
ever
no.
think about it.
I know, but I thought the same thing, Scott. No, it is a commitment towards instructional, and so that's a nice thing.
Alex, do you want to ask the members if they have any questions before I make the motion?
For our LSC Zoom members, does anybody have any questions before we go ahead? So this is for LSC member questions right now.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there any change in the tech codes with this budget?
Into what?
The tech codes? No.
What's a tech code?
Oh, tech, not me.
Oh.
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, we need
Tommy
Tommy.
will
Yes,
always be
right.
here. Tommy will always be here.
So I can ask that.
Unmute Maria, Anita, and Julieta. before
And
we-
Princess.
Oh, yes, and Princess.
Yeah.
Before we.
I can only mute them, but they can unmute
Oh,
themselves.
I'm
I'm
unmuted.
unmuted already.
Yeah.
If you could unmute yourself.
So
Perfect.
what we're
Thank you.
gonna do is because we have to make note of this specifically on our form, I'm gonna ask, our secretary, Ms. Light, to go one by one. And so then you'll tell us if you're voting yes, if you're voting no, if you're abstaining. Okay.
We need to make a
Yeah.
motion, so I will make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2023.
I second.
Now we do
Okay,
roll
now
call.
Ms. Light will do the roll call.
Okay.
Yes.
Lisa Burnett?
Yes.
Yes. Sharon White? Yes. Mike Solera?
Yes.
Maria McDormand?
Yes.
Chris Russo? Yes. Laura Keeling?
Yes.
Julietta Pasco? Julietta?
She's on mute. I don't know if she's here.
There she is.
She waved? Yes, okay.
She's waving yes.
She's waving?
Are we going to take off?
Yes.
Scott Munster?
Yes.
Princess Clara?
Yes.
Adam? Yes. Arthur Schaefer?
Yes,
That's it.
Okay, so everyone's voted yes, except we have two people who are absent, so that carries. And I will make note on these sheets here, Mr. King. Okay, sorry. Is there anything else that goes there under what you're doing with the budget?
nope, we're done with budget.
Okay. So we're going to move on to CIWP report under principals report, and that's you, Mr. Flores, and Ms. Greenblatt.
Yeah, I think, Mr. Porter already talked about the instructional support positions, which I think we're looking forward to having those to support the CIWC next year. The only other thing that has changed is CPS is offering like, focus sessions for instructional leadership teams, so our department chairs, our PCT leads, our coordinators, so all this. We talked about assessment systems, in advance of when we have to have in book for next year. So that's the first time, they've had a session like that, and, you know, ahead of actually having to submit the assessment plan, so people are having that, with our teachers to learn about our assessment.
Does anybody have any questions? Thank you for your report, Ms. Greenblatt. Next, we move to the chair report. I don't have anything because we're going into spring break, and so that's that. Okay, so now we're going to move to our committee chair report. So our first report will be our budget committee report from earlier today. I don't know if there's anything that needs to be said.
You know, we primarily spent most of the time talking the budget, the CPS budget that was presented, which we already all voted and approved. I don't think anything nothing more was discussed during that time, so I think we're all good to go as I don't know if anyone else have any questions for our discussion.
No.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sclera. Okay, our next report is the Professional Personnel Leadership Committee, PPLC. Ms. Trebbing's not here. Scott, do you want me to read it? Or
No, I can do it.
Okay. Scott had some surgery. So.
Yeah, I was supposed to get surgery today in my mouth, but luckily the dentist couldn't do it. So you all get graced by me. We met last week. Usually we meet the day before the LSC meeting, but we met last week. Mr. Gershaver had some questions for us, so we had a meeting a little earlier than usual. And so we decided not to have our regular meeting yesterday, and we just rolled with our meeting from last week on March 28th. There were a few items we talked about. One was something about spring parent-teacher conferences. It was dismissed because Mr. Gershaver told us he felt our suggestion didn't serve the parents very well. And so that was dismissed and we moved on. We went over the increase in our budget that we have been discussing in this meeting. According to Numbers Crunch, we're getting an increase of about 1% tentatively. The PPLC recommends that this money goes to hiring people like social workers, staff to handle our SEL problems, something that this LSC has been asking for all year. We also want to make sure the classes are fully staffed with appropriate class sizes. Like Mr. Gershaver said, that's all I talk about. We are hoping that that's done on the first day of school to avoid the problems we had this year with class size, which I will admit weren't as bad as the year before. Regular security staff, although hard to find, we've discussed that in this committee. The LSC is also a key ask from our PPLC. Our biggest discussion during our PPLC meeting was in response to our request to eliminate the potting structures at Taft for grades 7 through 10. They've become very troublesome, probably more trouble than they were worth. These were created to help us with contact tracing during the COVID epidemics, the height of the COVID epidemic. I shouldn't act like it's over. What we found is teachers is that behavioral issues kind of would carry on from one class to the next, as you have the same group of students together all day. Feuds became bitter, deeply entrenched feuds. It just made learning difficult. So we came with a poll. You guys at the LSC has asked the PPLC to have a poll done. We aren't completely done yet. We're almost done, but we did have results on potting, so we were able to bring that, which was very beneficial. It spoke volumes. A huge majority of teachers, in fact, I have it right here. It was 88%. We're like, no, we don't want to do it the same way. 7.5% undecided. So we had those kind of numbers, and it made it really easy to make the recommendation with confidence that we think the staff was moving on from this. Mr. Gershaver provided counter arguments and explained some ideas about what we might be throwing away with potting. He didn't make any quick decisions on this issue, which I think is something we should appreciate. And just yesterday, a week later, and thank God he did, he announced to the staff via email that we would not be doing potting during the next school year. And I wrote here in my report, the wary staff applauds this wise decision. So I'm going to make a big deal about it.
I agree with both.
I patted you on the back, sir. We're going over our poll during the next meeting. So if you want to hear about the poll results, I'll publicize, as I always do, to the LT and to the public. We're going to go over the poll results. We always get ideas from the poll that we didn't think of before. And if you want to be there, otherwise I will send you the results. Everyone on this staff, I'll send it to administration, and I will be sending it to the LSC as always. And we are also going to continue talking about the administration's 50% base grading policy. Something we really want to work with administration on. We've had meetings in the past, and everything just kind of fizzles out. So we're hoping to continue talking about that and working with administration and listening to the community and the LSC especially. Your input is always very valuable, and the students, please always come to us if you need anything, to have any recommendations. We don't always see things from the same point of view, but we can help you. That's all I got, unless you have questions.
Thanks, Scott.
Sure thing.
Any questions? Okay, thanks for your report, Mr. Huntsman. Okay, Facilities Committee, Ms. Ragusa.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We met today here at 4:30. Lots of good stuff is actually transpiring with capital here at the varsity campus. The capital planning arm of CPS was out, I don't know, 5 months ago, and we toured the building with them, but our ask was to evaluate the rooftop units. So units that are very aged, and they have come back to Pat, letting them know that they assessed all 9 units and have a recommendation for it. So Pat should be getting a copy of their report, and they're doing something because they're going to the next board meeting or the following board meeting with their recommendation. So we'll be able to report out more hopefully at our next capital meeting. Yeah. The PA system, which is something that we've been asking for to be evaluated, the contractor came in. That too, they have a quote for, one of the biggest issues is the board which governs the PA system. It's super antiquated and it needs replacing. Again, Pat has not seen the report on that. He's expecting the report April 19th. And with the goal and objective to get us a new board as well as outreach to pretty much to coverage of 100% of the varsity campus as possible. Again, we'll know more when that report is issued. There was an issue with the pool, but it ended up being the pump. They repaired it, so that's done. The clock that Mr. Gershaver has been advocating for since I've been here, so that's over on the LLC for 5 years, being delivered and assembled April 6th. So when the kids come back from spring break, that sucker should be up and working.
And they'll see 8 o'clock when they walk in.
Well, you're going to set it a little bit.
You know me.
So we're talking about room size. We have about 4 to 6 rooms that we need to identify here at the varsity campus. We are going to do that with room 306, 304, 239, and 151. 239, 304, and 306 are going to be split in half. So we're going to gain, with those splits, and then 151, we're going to gain 4 additional rooms for classes. And the attendance office is going to be very similar to the way Pat describes it to the security desk. It'll sit opposite them. So it'll be a desk for about potentially 4 staff to take attendance. And that is it for the varsity campus. At the freshman academy, if you all remember, somebody drove through our fence and trashed the field. Well, the fence has been repaired and the track has been repaired as well. That concludes my facilities report. Are there any questions on facilities?
Yes, ma'am. Can you tell me which rooms were cutting it down?
239, 304, and 306.
That's the NJROTC room.
And
Yeah.
151 is going to be converted into a classroom. That's the attendance office.
306 is also a split.
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Anybody else have any questions?
I invite you then to join us on May 10th here at the varsity campus at 4:30 for our next facilities committee meeting. That
Thank you.
concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Gazelle, as always. Okay, do we have anyone from back with anything to share? I'm going to say no. Oh, wait. Yes, Ms. Pascal. You're on mute. Do you want to unmute yourself and? You want to type something in the chat? If you want to type something in the chat, and we'll keep an eye out for that. I'm not really sure what's
I'll look.
going on. Okay, all right. Okay, so we are now going to move to the Safety and Security Committee report. Ms. McDormand, are you?
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, we met today virtually at 3:15. We have some security updates. We can welcome Mr. Melendez and Mr. Perez, who have started at the varsity campus almost 3 weeks now. In the pipeline, we have 3 more security. 2 of them are further along than we have a Mr. Del Rosario and Miss Rivera, who are further along. Hopefully, they'll be starting soon. And Mr. I think it's Bodian. He will be the next one, and we will have a full team of security. So kudos to that.
Yay.
Hey. And again, just wanted to give a shout out to the security team because they're still rising to the challenge, and they're we greatly appreciate all their efforts doing stuff outside their regular realm. We have some hallway washroom updates. The color coordinated hall passes were released on March 25th at the varsity campus. There are 6 colors, 1 per floor per building between the old wing and the new wing. Teachers get 1 pass assigned to themselves based on their classroom. So teachers with more than 1 room on a different floor or in a different wing of the building will have an additional pass with the corresponding color. Teachers are responsible for the passes. They are labeled by name. Old passes are collected upon teacher getting their new pass. Other old passes will be confiscated as they are found. They're finding it to be more efficient. Teachers are issued 1 pass instead of 2 unless they have more than 1 room on a separate floor or wing, so there are less in circulation. All passes are labeled with a teacher name rather than a room number. Any pass that does not have a teacher's name on it is not valid and will be collected without exception. Passes move with the teacher themselves rather than stay in the classroom, which decreases the chance that a pass could go missing versus if the pass was simply assigned to a room. So that's the update on the hallway and washroom passes, and it seems to be, according to Mr. Levins and Mr. Krishaber, everything seems to be working well. There's really no updates on misconducts with data, still dealing with the same issues. Nothing really new, nothing has changed. And the last subject we talked about were the SROs, the whole school safety plan. It is in the Google Drive. Mr. Spear is working on convening the committee, whole school committee again. It's pretty much, I think, the same. He just needs to get some new students because a lot of the students that were on the committee graduated last year. So he's getting everything put together within the next week or so. And then that's about it. That's the update on the WSS. Anybody have any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
And like I said, it's the whole school safety plan is in the Google Drive. There's a link to the slideshow in there. So if you're interested in looking at it, just go Google Drive. And that's our report.
Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I just, I think I have it later on in the whole school safety plan and the agenda and bottom. I'm not sure if I have, yeah, under new business. So since we're talking about it now, I just wanted to clarify, we're still looking for students to kind of replace the students from before on the whole school safety plan, or I'm sorry, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are seniors that graduated, so they're going to replace them. So Mr. Spear is working on that.
Okay, and when is the whole kind of committee supposed to be together? Like when is everybody?
He's working on it it's got to be done, I think, by the week of April 18th.
Okay.
To convene, and then he has to review, discuss, and then eventually it'll be presented to the LSC. I believe the LSC has to vote no later than June 15th, or it has to present the plan and the SRO recommendation to LSC to vote. So right now he's just working on the committee, going over the plan, and then getting ready to present.
All right. Anybody else have any questions on that?
Just a quick comment. I think we should try to do our best to have the whole school plan put together before our parent reps leave, which would be graduation day. Does that sound right?
Yes.
What's graduation day?
So
June 12th.
yeah. So the parents that are leaving, I just think it would be a good idea to have the people who have been involved, at least for a few years. So we need to try to do our best to get that plan together and presented to the LSC before then.
So it shows on my agenda that our last meeting is June 14th and graduation is June 12th.
So technically, yes, technically the 2 parents whose kids are graduating would be gone on graduation.
So we probably will have to just schedule a special meeting just to go over that.
Unless he can get it done by the May 10th meeting.
The May 10th, yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
if he can get it done and sent out to everybody, then we can review it and we can kind of make a determination if we have enough information to go in the May meeting and discuss it and vote. If not, then we'll have to have a special meeting.
I can reach out to Mr. Spear with these concerns, about the dates.
Yeah.
if you'd like.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else have any questions on that? Or comments? All right, thank you, Ms. McDormand, for your report. All right, so we are now moving to our student reps for their reports. I know Ms. Mano isn't here, so Ms. Pyle, if you want to go ahead with your report.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I don't really have that much for today, but I did want to comment on the bathroom passes. A lot of people have been appreciative that the schedule is on the back, so that has made it easier to find a restroom to go to. And the other thing that I wanted to note on the same bathroom issue is that in some of the bathrooms, there's not enough tampons in the disposal. So they definitely need to be restocked more often because a lot of people rely on those daily. And on Bryn Mawr and Natoma, there's a lot of traffic on that street. So it'd be nice if there could be some police to control the traffic right there. And that's pretty much it that I have for today.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for Ms. Pyle? No. Okay, thank you, Ms. Pyle. Okay, Skylar, I see you also had something submitted in here. If you'd like to go ahead, sorry, Ms. Lynn, if you'd like to go ahead with your report.
Hi, everyone. My first point is on polling. The student voice committee launched a survey of students last week on Friday. And we collected that 46% of students do not like polling out of the students who have submitted it, while 54% do. Some of the consistency with classes, it's more comfortable and it's easier to maintain friends and understand group assignments. However, some students feel that plotting prevents them from meeting people. It can get really boring, easier to cheat, to get distracted, and get very quick. But we recognize and respect the decision of the administration. So thank you. And the next point is the recurring issues, the sanitation bathrooms, both at the TSA and the varsity campus. Bathrooms remain unsanitary. Yellow. And the third point is that there are no waste bins in the women's bathrooms. At the varsity campus, especially in the women's bathrooms in the lunchroom, there are no waste bins in each stall. There's only one garbage bin that is outside of the stalls that everyone uses. It's very inconvenient and makes it difficult to practice healthy hygiene. And the fourth point is senior representation. Many seniors feel that there's much excitement and morale as graduation approaches. Many seniors want events that can help the senior class get together and bond to boost this low morale. And that's all I have. Any questions?
I'll do that if there's no more senior ditch days. Okay, I'm just. I know, Scott.
Suggestions?
Yeah,
They
any
have-
suggestions?
They raised the issue, but
Yeah.
did they give any type of ideas of what you could do?
Yeah, like, well, I think one of my friends talked to me about how you can have like really thing outdoors, hot dogs.
Like a picnic or something?
Yeah, like a picnic.
It used to be a Great America Day.
That's on our prom night.
Oh.
You know what we are doing, Scott? I'm not sure if you know about it, but like Wednesdays at third period, we have an open mic and we have karaoke in the lunchroom, or the commons area. So one of our teachers was playing the guitar there today, so we're trying to do it. Maybe we could do it almost every day to kind of give some. Yeah, I understand. Oh, they are on there?
Yeah. Having a senior, I know those would be greatly appreciated as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, especially after COVID.
Uh-huh.
We haven't had like, I don't know, 2.5 years of actual school.
Exactly. Princess is raising her hand since we're still a student.
Hi, I just had a comment about the karaoke. I have human geography during fourth period. I don't know the exact period that you said it was, but I have heard karaoke during that period and it has been very disruptive at times. So I don't know if like the karaoke could be moved to the forum or somewhere that it won't disturb students when they're doing their work, but it has kind of become a nuisance sometimes.
All right, thanks. We'll definitely lower it.
All right, any other questions?
Can I ask how the morning announcements have been going? Have people and students been receptive? Are they now more aware of activities that are upcoming? I know that was a problem in the past, but I was wondering how all of that has transpired since we started again.
Yeah, well, at the varsity campus, we haven't been able to do it for, I think, 2 weeks, because last week we had SAT testing.
Right.
I think this week, I was doing announcements, something that was for, like, the bells, or I don't know what happened, but PA system, we couldn't get access to that. So, but the announcements were, it seemed to go pretty smoothly. A lot of people were coming up to me, just like, and started representing the club and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been pretty good.
Good.
Can I make a comment? Yeah, but, so we went to SAT and then PSAT and then IB and AP exams. There won't be bells or announcements for the majority of the remaining school days, so I'm wondering if maybe we can move them to either 7:45 or at the end of the day. Just so you guys can still have them, but with the testing schedule, it's gonna be pretty challenging if we can't have any disruptions.
That's a good idea.
Is Monday still not same day now? Or so the Monday after spring break will be the last Monday until the first week of June, that there wouldn't be an exam. Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, anybody else? Okay, thank you, Ms. Lim. All right, we now have, is there an arts report?
I do have one.
Okay,
All right. You want me to do it?
yeah,
All right, here we go. Mr. Cohen sent me this report. Drama auditions for the student self-directed one-act play festivals were held March 31st, attended by dozens of students. This year's one-act festival will be the largest in Taft's history, featuring the work of 50 students on stage and behind the scenes over the course of 10 plays, all directed by students from directing classes. The festival is going to expand to 2 weeks this year because of how many people have directed one-acts. And they'll run May 16th to 18th, 23rd through 25th, with each week featuring a new slate of plays. That sounds exciting. Visual arts, the art department's going to have a photo camp this summer for 9th and 10th graders. Students are going to be experimenting with traditional photographic practices along with contemporary mixed media photo practices. I'd like to point out that my wife is the photo club moderator at the Taft Freshman Academy. What else do we have here? Can't really understand what this says. The music department is proud to announce, sorry, John. The music department is proud to announce 2 upcoming events. We have Student Cabaret Night, May 6th from 6 to 8:30 in the Student Commons, formerly the library, featuring performances by Taft's various performing arts clubs. We have a music festival, 2022 Music Festival, June 10th, to be determined, but that sounds good. We got lots of arts festivals coming up, so hopefully you all can attend one of them. Cool.
Thanks, Scott.
That's what
Skylar, did you read the information I gave you?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, good.
all right, any questions? I don't know that you could answer them anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Buster. Okay, and so next we move to our athletics report with Ms. Taft.
So this is from Mr. Kessler.
Mhm.
It's been a busy start to the spring season with 21 teams across 10 sports. The weather thus far has not been cooperative for some of our outdoor sports, as our varsity baseball team just was able to play their first game this past weekend.
Yeah.
Our girls softball team is currently ranked 15th in the state
Wow, nice.
by the Illinois Coaches Association 4A poll. With spring sports in full swing, we're also looking ahead to the summer. Summer camp logistics for both high school and elementary students are being finalized, and we plan to have that information out in the next couple of days. Go Eagles!
Go Eagles. Thank you, Ms.
Mary.
Taft. Okay, next we are moving to our Friends of Taft PTSA report with Ms. Bernacki.
Okay, the PTSA met a couple weeks ago. They discussed some fundraisers that they're going to be having, selling plants coming in May. They'll sell spiritware at the different locations. One of them is the Edgebrook Farmers Market over the summer. They're trying to figure out other ways to be able to sell their spiritware online and so forth. The president talked about the process to request funds, and it's on their website. So if a teacher or a group of students or administration needs some funds for something, you can fill out the form and they approve it and give you the money. They have about $38,000 in their account right now. There was no mention of a Friends of Taft, so I'm not sure, where that's going with them. They will be having a new election for the president and the treasurer and so forth. So I'm not sure what's going on with the Friends of Taft idea with the PTSA. So that's that for the PTSA report. And then I got a email from Miss Lundy from the Alumni Association, who's the president of the Alumni Association. So I'll read what she sent. I also, Ms. Davila, I forwarded this to you so you could put it into the Google Drive.
Okay.
So she said, we'll be presenting 3 $1,000 scholarships to graduating seniors this year.
You're on mute.
Oh,
You muted
you
yourself.
muted
Anita.
yourself on accident. The last thing we heard
Okay, sorry.
was
I
the
don't know how-
three $1,000 scholarships to seniors this year. Then we didn't hear anything after that.
Okay, sorry. I don't know how that happened. Probably a cat. So the scholarship applications will be available on their website. There's a deadline for submission of May 6th. These can be submitted by email or mail to the Alumni Association. And I just lost my screen. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. These can be submitted by mail or email to the Alumni Association at the Taft Varsity main office. There's a box for them, a mailbox. There's also, this is a year for a new group of nominations to the Taft Alumni Hall of Fame, and they'll post the nomination instructions on their website with information in their June quarterly newsletter. And their popular Taft Alumni Association baseball caps will be available also this summer to buy. And that is all I have.
Any
Thank you.
questions for Ms. Bernacki?
Thank you, Anita.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh, wait, sorry. What's this? Oh, okay. Thanks, Ms. Bernacki.
You're welcome.
See, we do have, I need to leave. Oh, okay. Okay. Wish a happy Easter. Happy Easter,
Oh, that's
Ms.
what it
Pascal.
says.
Yeah. She has to leave. Thank you for attending. Okay, great. We are going to move on to old business now. Under old business, we have restorative justice training. Do we have an update on when the training is scheduled and who will lead it?
Addison will lead it, no update on when.
Okay.
Are we trying to get it done before the end of the school year?
Not sure right now.
I can talk to that. We have
Oh,
two
go ahead.
tentative dates in May,
Okay.
and I know, Mr. Spear and is working with the district FPL, representatives to plan that. They've done a couple of staff surveys. So we're looking at 2 dates in May.
Excellent. Thank you, Jen.
Okay, thank you. So Ms. Bernacki answered B, any progress on Friends of Taft. Now we're moving to new business. I think we've already discussed this. I don't know that we need to say anything else. It's for the SRO update for renewing, updating the whole school safety plan. That's in process. We heard from Ms. McDormand. And then this is just a question to all of you on the LSC. Since we now, as this large school that we are, and we have 2 campuses, 1 school, freshmen coming in are at another campus and cannot be elected right now to be on the LSC next year. Do we want to think about making some sort of proposal or amendment, as we are a unique school in CPS, to allow someone from the freshman campus to run in the beginning of the upcoming school year, so that we have 2 spots on this campus and 1 spot there? Or does that something that it's just, we don't, like, that we will count on our 3 student representatives who will be on the varsity campus to take care of, to make sure that they talk and meet with the freshmen, with the TFA, and make sure that those are conveyed through them? Like,
Another thought, do we suggest that it is an 8th grade representative who's come through the academic center that already knows the freshman academy and can maybe be a little more of a voice for that campus?
I don't know, when do
For the
we,
next year or
when do
not,
we
but
hold
have some
those?
people out in there, right, voting.
Why can't they run?
Well, what happens is the freshmen aren't, so what I'm talking about is incoming freshmen. Incoming freshmen can't run because aren't student elections held now?
Yeah, I see what you're
So
saying.
that's what I'm saying is since we have 2 campuses, would it be a good idea? I'm just asking you guys, because I think we can probably make an amendment to this for us because we're we have a unique situation. Do we feel like it's important to have a student from TFA who won't be available to run until the beginning of the school year?
So you would hold that position, so we would elect our other members and then hold that position kind of until the fall?
Yeah,
And would we change our bylaws to do that or
I
something?
think we would probably need to.
Yeah.
I could ask Mr. Garcia. I just didn't want to ask him yet because I don't even know if anybody thinks that's a good idea.
I would support that. I think, I'm just from, Bridget and I, we work at the different campuses and we're able to really communicate with each other. I mean, I'm really leaving it up to you guys as students, but with Bridget and I, we work together, we're at both campuses and we're able then to discuss issues that maybe aren't true at our campus, but are at theirs. And we found that to be very valuable, although we don't have an official, that's just how the teachers keep electing us, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no.
it might be
yeah.
good for the students to have representatives.
I'd be interested to hear, Ms. Pyle and Ms. Lim, what you think about that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, because it's difficult for me to represent both campuses when I'm only here.
Yeah.
The only reason I can represent the TFA is because I'm an SBC. So,
Right,
yeah, that's just an advantage for me.
okay. Do you have any, comments, Ms. Pyle, on that?
Yeah, I fully support having a representative from the TFA. I think it's great to have someone who actually goes there, speak for that campus. So I think we should do it that way.
Okay, so then my question to you all would be, because I don't know the process, when do the students get elected? When does that happen? Will that happen before May 10th? That's our next meeting.
Yeah,
It's the same time? Okay, so then I don't know.
I'll check with Lewis whether or not we can keep one position open.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if we can.
okay.
I would fully support that in a heartbeat. I would like to have the freshman, I would like to see a freshman president, vice president, and secretary, and they all run. And then we have campaigns over there and teach the kids about elections and stuff like that. And then the president is now, is on the LSC. I would love to see, I would love to just sit in the auditorium, watch them make their speeches and stuff. So let me check and see if we can do it. So if we can do it, everybody's for keeping the spot open until we can get one elected next year, right? Anybody, any pushback?
Anybody against that online?
Princess is waiting her hand.
Oh, okay, yes, Princess.
Oh yeah, I just had another question. I'm not against it, but I wanted to know what's going to happen with the election since I'm the only person who signed up to run as the student representative.
So I can answer that. In your past, you've been in situations with dispatch. The vote still has to take place, and there will be opportunity. So in the fall, there'll be an opportunity to fill those 2 vacant student seats.
So we
For
might
next year-
actually end up being
Right.
able to have time to change bylaws.
So you're telling me right now, I don't even have to talk to Lewis. We're gonna have 2 openings, right? Well, nobody can apply right now, right?
Right, so in the fall, this next year, just by happenstance.
Yeah.
What you just
Right.
described, will have the opportunity to happen.
Right.
Unless you change the bylaws, we will be able to guarantee that one of those 2 vacancies to be filled at freshman capacity, but to your earlier point, would be more
Right.
likely that a freshman could run.
So we'll have time to make that amendment before the end of the school year, because I think we need to make the amendment, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have the top, whoever the top people are, will be the ones elected. It will have nothing to do with the fact if they're at the freshman campus or here.
But next
So-
year, we're good to go, right? Because we're gonna have 2 opening positions.
Well,
So-
what-
Yeah, but if you want somebody from the freshman academy, you have to stipulate that for the remainder of the 2
maybe
people.
the top 2. So let's say
Right.
6 people run and only one of them's at the freshman academy and the 2 top people are from the varsity campus.
Right, so you still have to talk to Luis
I
first.
think we're gonna have to stipulate
I
that,
got you,
but we
I got
have
you.
time now.
I got
Because we have the 2 open positions, so we have time now to
Got
do
you.
it. So
Okay.
and you can talk to Mr. Garcia as well, and I'll just put it on the agenda for the
Yep.
next meeting. Okay, great. So,
New business, you still have the approval of the lift fund fundraiser.
oh, yeah,
Can we, vote on that?
On the what?
The lift on?
we didn't actually, yeah, I guess when we voted earlier, we just voted on those budget transfers. We didn't vote on the lift of
Okay. I'll put it out there right now real quick. I'll back up a little bit. Should I back up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a fundraising request for something called a lift-a-thon. That's gonna be for our football boosters. They're looking to raise $4,500 to purchase headphones for all of our coaches. Okay, so they're gonna lift some weights. This is the international lift weight sign. And then and whatever, and then people pledge, like I'll pledge like a dime a pound up to $100 or something like that. They'll collect the money, so hopefully they can get, Mike will get $4,500. He'll get 10,000 money, but yeah, so I say we go for that. It's a good thing.
Does anybody have any questions? This is a fundraising request for a lift-a-thon by the football booster. Okay, so I move that we approve the fundraising request by the Taft Football Booster Committee Club.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, the motion carries. Great. All right, is there any public participation? Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Ann Boyle, and I'll be on the ballot for being a parent rep. What is it, 2 weeks or something like that?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, I have a senior and a freshman.
Welcome, man.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks for running.
Mhm.
Appreciate it. All right, is there any public participation online? Awesome. Spring break is almost here. All right, so I move that we adjourn.
I'll say.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your participation, for being here.